Guys, if you like Dragon Ball Hakai, today is the best day for you to subscribe to our Patreon. We started publishing about 3 pages a day of the next chapter of Dragon Ball Hakai. In addition, you will also have access to several other stories created by our team, including Dragon Ball Shinken. By collaborating with our Patreon, you help us keep Dragon Ball Hakai alive and have a lot of benefits. Become a member of our community too. The link is in the video description and in the pinned comment. I'm waiting for you there.
Fly to the limits, look out below and you will see the clouds beneath, way up high where no one has been. Break out your spirit, you know it's waiting to begin, so ride upon the wind. These guys come out of nowhere one by one. Their sights are set upon the land we love, and vibes are the cue for me. Fight, fight, fight. I'll guard the planet like a shield for a night. So no, I won't stop fighting till it's over. Won't run away. And you can bet that Earth will keep on turning. I'm making sure it's safe. Join in the face of my fists are sturdy in their faith. They'll never shake. Ain't nobody stopping it burn. Show what we're made of. I'll change the future with my nerves to one that we deserve for the world.
Previously on Dragon Ball Shinken, the battle between the protectors of the great universe and the evil angels is nearing its end. Android 21, who absorbed Bulla and gained the powers of a Super Saiyan 5, is about to face Whis alongside Champa Ross, the fusion of young Beerus and young Champa. Gohan, after being heavily pressured by the angels, Ynek and Drom, uses his new and most powerful transformation, which grants him immense power, but at the cost of his own lifespan. Zeno was fighting the evil Daishinkan, but after seeing that Demon Vegito was indirectly strengthening the leader of the evil angels, he went to the corrupted Saiyan and saved Gogeta's life. Meanwhile, Ultra Cell unexpectedly appears to face Daishinkan, whom he calls his grandfather. What will be the outcome of all these battles? Find out now! Episode 47, The Dawn of Evil, Part 6. Android 21 fully unleashes the intense blazing ki of Super Saiyan 5, a power she gained thanks to absorbing Bulla. Beside her, Champa Ross also raises his ki to its limit, summoning the power of destruction. But Whis, the angel of destruction, also invokes the power of destruction, determined not to let this group of brats think they can surpass him. Whis laughs at his opponents, declaring that the fusion of 2 kids and a half-baked android who absorbed a little brat will never be able to defeat him. Android 21 responds that the little brat he mentioned was able to defeat his sister Rum, who was equally proud and bitterly regretted it. Champa Ross adds that the fusion of 2 kids was powerful enough to force him to resort to the transformation he's using now. Whis becomes irritated by their cheeky replies and assumes a combat stance, ordering them to come at him already. Android 21 and Champa Ross do as he says, charging at him simultaneously to attack. Faced with Gohan's newly revealed power, Ynek and Drom are shocked, not expecting this further evolution from the Saiyan. At the same time, they grow angry, as they had believed the battle was already won. Drom charges first, his burning rage blinding him to the danger ahead. He's met with a punch from Gohan, now much faster and more powerful. The impact is devastating. The flames of the evil angel's blazing ki momentarily snuffed out by the overwhelming pressure of the blow and Gohan's energy. Drom is hurled away like a cannonball. Ynek spins to build up momentum and force, then launches a kick toward the Saiyan with cosmic level impact. However, the blow into which the angel poured so much power, is stopped by Gohan's arm, who holds the attack without losing his imposing stance. Ironically, despite the attack coming from Wynek, it's him who suffers the damage, with his leg throbbing in pain in the area he used to strike Gohan. Drum, recovering from the earlier hit, tries to counter with a massive fireball, but Gohan simply extends his hand and disperses the flames with a mere gesture. Wynek performs a long-range kick that materializes into an energy slash heading straight for Gohan. The cutting energy strikes his body directly, but it only has enough power to tear through his clothes and cause minimal damage to his skin. Both Wynek and Drom are stunned. However, in a moment, Gohan's body falters, and the Saiyan involuntarily clutches his chest, falling to his knees as he feels a sharp pain in his heart. Damn, I don't have much time, Gohan thinks. Drom and Wynek see an opportunity. Drom calls his brother to attack, and Wynek nods. They both charge together, ready to land a decisive blow, seizing Gohan's moment of weakness. Unfortunately for them, that moment doesn't last long, and the Saiyan rises with a powerful roar, raising his ki even further. The bluish aura intensifies, the lightning becoming more frequent and more violent, to the point where even the air around him seems electrified. The angels, who just a moment ago were confidently advancing for an attack, now retreat. With no time to waste, Gohan charges at them, a living storm of power. Vegito is about to deliver his final blow to Gogeta when Zeno suddenly appears before them, surprising both Saiyans. Knowing the risk of being near this being, Vegito quickly retreats, providing great relief to Gogeta. Zeno approaches Gogeta, who asks how he arrived there when he was in an extremely intense battle against Daishinkan, the impacts of which he could feel even there. Zeno offers no response. He remains focused on Vegito, who is his target there. For a moment, the situation seemed to favor the evil Daishinkan. He was fighting at a disadvantage against Zeno, yet he managed to survive thanks to the evil power coming from the evil seed, which constantly nourished him. The reason the benign Daishinkan allowed so much power from the sealed evil seed within him to leak out is due to the overwhelming power that Demon Vegito unleashed in his battle against Gogeta, as well as the power released by the evil Daishinkan himself. All this excess evil power spreading throughout the universe stirred the evil seed trapped inside the benign Daishinkan, increasingly forcing the ceiling, causing him to leak this energy with great intensity. For the situation to improve, either the evil Daishinkan or Demon Vegito needed to be stopped. Zeno found himself at an impasse, as, on one hand, he couldn't land a definitive attack on Daishinkan due to his constant strengthening. On the other hand, he couldn't go to Vegito because if he left for even a moment, the evil Daishinkan would kill the benign Daishinkan and completely steal the power of the evil seed. However, it is at this moment that an unexpected figure appears, Ultra Cell, who tells Zeno that he can go to Vegito as he would take care of holding off Daishinkan. Seeing that the android was capable of doing this, Zeno departs. The evil Daishinkan, in a foul mood, stares at the new opponent who has just arrived. "What's wrong? Didn't expect to see me here, Grandpa?" Cell Ultra asks, a teasing smile on his face. "You're that abominable creation of my traitor son, Campari, aren't you?" Daishinkan asks, although he already knows the answer. "You filthy, insolent creature, how dare you call me grandfather?" Cell responds ironically, reminding Daishinkan that he has the DNA of his son, Campari. Therefore, he is his grandson. Daishinkan becomes enraged by these statements. "You are an abject being who should never have existed. I wish I had discovered you sooner, as I could have eliminated you just like I did with that abomination called Zaiko, the child of Vados and a Saiyan. But in the end, it's good that you're here. That way, I can eliminate you along with all those whose existence bothers me." Despite being the supreme evil angel issuing these threats, Ultra Cell does not back down. The so-called grandson of Daishinkan maintains a defiant smile on his face and asserts that things won't be as simple as he thinks. Cell then begins to show what he's capable of. First, he envelops his body in a thin yet intense layer of energy, which manifests in a black form in an instant. Should I be impressed by this? Daishinkan asks. But it's not over yet! Cell's ki explodes into a radiant energy aura, which Daishinkan quickly recognizes as the power of Ultra Instinct. What do you think of this, Grandpa? I can also use the special ability that you angels are so proud of, the android boasts. But that's not all. Now releasing an even greater amount of energy, Cell begins to shake the walls of reality, manifesting a superior energy from his body which Daishinkan cannot access. Behold the Shinken! Cell cries out proudly. You damned fool! Don't get cocky just because of that, says the leader of the evil angels. But it's still not over. Cell now pushes his body even further, raising his energy to absolutely extraordinary levels. Kaioken increased 100,000 times, he shouts. The radiant aura of the black android is enveloped by the crimson energy of Kaioken, bringing an overwhelming pressure. Behold the power of Cell Ultra Black Shinken increased by 100,000 times, exclaims the most powerful android of all time. Daishinkan is in shock, wondering how this android gained such power. The power of Cell Ultra Black Shinken increased by 100,000 times instantly reverberates throughout the great universe, beginning to destabilize the balance of things and plunging everything into an imminent process of destruction. From hell, everyone feels this happening and panics. Gogeta is very concerned about this, wondering if Cell has gone insane and questioning Zeno about what they will do now. Zeno ignores Gogeta. He stares at the Saiyan demon seriously. He knows he needs to end this quickly, as soon his body will no longer withstand his own power, nor will the great universe be able to bear all these battles. In an act of extreme concentration, Zeno raises both hands to accumulate an enormous amount of power. In his left hand, he manifests a dark blade of pure destructive energy, powerful enough to destroy an entire multiverse with just a swing. This is called the Omega Blade. In his right hand, a blade of creation energy appears, as radiant as the sun, with the power to create an entire multiverse with just a swing. Its name is Genesis Blade. After this, Zeno combines the two blades, merging them into something that becomes the Absolute Blade, an object of pure destructive and creative energy, emitting a strong radiant glow as well as a dark, ominous energy. When he sees such a weapon being forged to deal with him, even Demon Vegito feels fear. He quickly prepares for it, evoking even more power and forming in his hand his own energy blade, imbued with evil power and strengthened by his Kaioken increased by 200,000 times. Gogeta realizes that this confrontation will be decided in an instant, and his heart fills with tension. The evil Daishinkan hesitates for a moment, surprised by the immense energy emanating from Cell Ultra Black Shinken multiplied 100,000 times. However, his face quickly turns into a dark smile. You may have obtained that grotesque power, creature, but you're about to learn that the Supreme Angel is not someone to be trifled with. Daishinkan raises a hand and without apparent effort condenses a small energy sphere, but this is no ordinary sphere. It contains raw power capable of destroying multiple entire universes. With a simple gesture, he launches the attack directly at Cell Ultra, who watches the attack coming his way with a defiant grin. In the next instant, the space around them begins to collapse as the sphere collides with Cell, but the android, enveloped in his Shinken aura and strengthened by the Kaioken, intercepts the attack with one hand, absorbing the destructive energy as if it were nothing more than a breeze. The explosion, which should have been catastrophic, is muffled by Cell's absurd power, who now presses forward. "You're gonna need more than that to beat me, Grandpa," he mocks, firing a ki blast that cuts through the space between them, tearing apart the laws of physics as it heads toward Daishinkan. The leader of the evil angels barely moves, dodging with ease, demonstrating his complete mastery of Ultra Instinct. The cosmic explosions from Cell's attack shatter planets and entire stars in the distance, but Daishinkan is unimpressed, his dark smile unwavering. Without wasting time, the angel counterattacks. Daishinkan unleashes a storm of energy blasts, each one carrying the power to obliterate entire galaxies. However, Cell Ultra seems ready. His aura flickers and solidifies into an impenetrable barrier, reflecting the devastating attacks back into infinity. Then, he teleports directly in front of Daishinkan, delivering a powerful punch to the angel's torso. The impact is overwhelming. The pressure from the blow echoes across the cosmos, tearing dimensions apart and shattering the fabric of space-time. Daishinkan reacts quickly, using his incredible speed to appear above the android, striking him with a flurry of consecutive attacks. Each punch and kick explodes like supernovas against Cell's body, sending waves of energy through the layers of the great universe. Cell, however, absorbs the impacts, his Kaioken aura flickering with a crimson glow. He grabs one of Daishinkan's wrists and counterattacks, spinning the angel and hurling him with colossal force toward a cluster of planets. And just the force of Daishinkan's collision with one of those planets is enough to destroy all the others around it. To the father of the evil angels, this is nothing. He emerges unscathed from the multiple planetary explosions. Daishinkan smiles at Cell, who smiles back, both making it clear that they're just getting started. From the deepest zones of hell, Gogeta, Zeno, and Vegito feel the impacts of the battle between the most powerful android in history and the supreme evil angel. Gogeta says to Zeno, "The great universe won't withstand all this unchecked power for much longer. We need to do something about it." Zeno says nothing. He merely stares at Vegito, as if the corrupted Saiyan was the only thing that existed at that moment. Whis smiles faintly, watching with disdain as Android 21, in her Super Saiyan 5 form, charges forward with impressive speed. Her silver hair flows like an energetic cascade, and her aura radiates a nearly wild power, mixed with her fury. Behind her, Champeros, with his muscles tensed, prepares a coordinated attack, his hands wrapped in destructive energy. "You think fighting together will give you a chance, huh?" Whis comments casually, effortlessly dodging Android 21's first punch. "So foolish." He finishes the sentence by kicking 21 away. "Not in 1,000 years." He catches a straight punch from Champeros, cauterizing the destructive energy surrounding the young fusion's fist with his own destructive energy. "Will I allow insects like you to defeat me?" declares the angel, returning a punch to Champeros, at least 10 times stronger, exploding with destructive power on the young warrior's body and sending him flying. Android 21 charges again, unleashing a frantic sequence of strikes that slice through the air like blades, but none manage to touch the angel. He glides through her movements with the grace of a dance, each dodge seeming more like a casual act than a defensive maneuver. Champeros circles around to attempt an attack from behind, which Whis intercepts by summoning his staff and hitting him hard in the face, pushing him back again. In the next move, Whis quickly points his staff at Android 21 and creates a massive suction force, pulling her toward a dimensional rift that opens right in front of his staff. Knowing she won't be able to resist the gigantic force being exerted by the angel's staff, Android 21 powers up, extends her hands, channeling an enormous amount of ki, and fires a concentrated blast into the dimensional rift, causing it to explode from the inside out, pushing both her and Whis back. Champeros seizes the opening, vanishing in a flash and reappearing next to Whis, trying to land a brutal kick with his foot enveloped in destructive power. Whis is merciless, returning the attack in the form of a punch many times more brutal. Whis' punch and Champeros' kick collide, and Champeros is the one who suffers the worst, his leg exploding from the Angel of Destruction's fist. Champeros retreats, screaming in agony, overwhelmed by excruciating pain. Android 21 is quick to assist, rushing to Champeros' side and detaching part of her body to attach to him and form a new leg. "At least now you won't be legless," she tells him. "Thanks. It doesn't ease the pain, but at least I can keep fighting," he replies. "Fools, you still want to continue?" Whis asks calmly. The environment trembles due to his destructive and murderous aura. First, Drum falls from the sky in the form of a ball of fire that crashes into the ground, creating a glowing crater. Right after, Y-Neck falls, slamming into his brother on the ground and doubling the size of the crater, extinguishing all the fire with the sheer force of his fall. Y-Neck and Drum are already severely injured due to their fight against Gohan. But more than injured, they are very angry and frustrated. Gohan notices the difficulty Android 21 and Champeros are having with Whis and considers intervening. "Damn! I can't let them be defeated, especially since that android has Bulla inside her body. However, it doesn't take long for Wynek and Drom to ascend to the skies again, surrounding him. This irritates Gohan. But I won't be able to do anything while these two bastards are still alive. The titanic energies collide in countless cosmic explosions, tearing through the great universe as the pressure of the battle between the evil Daishinkan and Cell Ultra Black Shinken multiplied 100,000 intensifies even further. However, amid the chaos and destruction, a subtle shift begins to occur. Cell gradually starts gaining more ground in the fight. Each of Cell's movements becomes more precise, more devastating. His Shinken aura seems to deepen, as if drawing energy from the very edges of infinity. In a fraction of a second, Cell disappears from view, and the next moment is felt with a direct hit to the face of the evil angel. The impact is colossal, sending Daishinkan through multiple dimensions, generating a force so overwhelming that it shatters the barrier between the dimensions of the great universe and launches Daishinkan through them. Before Daishinkan can retaliate, Cell strikes with a barrage of blows. His hands glow with pulsating energy, each punch delivered with the precision of a master fighter and the devastating power of a multiversal force. Every hit on Daishinkan causes massive ripples through the fabric of reality, shattering entire dimensions. Cell increases his power even further, his muscles trembling and his aura expanding. With a shout that resonates through the multiverse, he channels his energy into a single point, preparing to unleash a technique, the Ultra Kamehameha. Cell fires an energy torrent the size of a solar system. Daishinkan cannot dodge and sees no other choice but to counter with an equally grandiose ki blast. The titanic energies collide in the heart of the great universe, the impact reverberating in all directions, breaking the limits of reality and creating countless fissures in time and space. After a few more minutes of battling the Angel of Destruction, Champa-Ross and Android 21 lie on the ground, both exhausted and wounded. Champa-Ross is undoubtedly in worse shape, as unlike the android, he cannot regenerate from the attacks. Whis lands majestically, then calmly walks toward his opponents. The difference in power becomes increasingly evident, yet Champa-Ross and Android 21 refuse to give up, both rising to continue. Android 21 raises what little energy she has left, igniting her powerful Super Saiyan 5 aura, though its glow flickers from exhaustion. Champa-Ross is visibly more worn out. His body trembles, and the pain from his leg, blown apart by Whis' attack, still torments him. He struggles to gather himself, channeling the remaining destructive energy in his body. Whis stares at them with a bored expression. It's touching to see all this determination, but I'm done with this. With an imperceptible movement, he vanishes from Champa-Ross's sight, reappearing behind him. Enough! Whis' voice echoes with authority, and before Champa-Ross can turn, the angel hits him with a devastating blow to the back. An immense explosion of destructive energy envelops the warrior's body, also hitting Android 21. Champa-Ross screams in pain as he is hurled toward the ground, his body engulfed by a wave of destruction that consumes everything around him. The impact creates a gigantic crater, and silence briefly settles as dust and debris begin to fall. Champa-Ross is no longer conscious. Seeing her comrades' defeat, 21 is filled with dread. Android 21 rushes to Champa-Ross, intending to heal him. She gets close, but before she can touch him, Whis appears between them, startling her. "You're next," Whis says, raising his staff. The destructive aura surrounding him swells terrifyingly, and the pressure around Android 21 increases, forcing her to her knees. Before Android 21 can react, Whis drives his staff into the center of her body, impaling her. The angel's energy begins to surge through her, causing her to tremble uncontrollably as her skin starts to melt away. "It's over for you," the Angel of Destruction declares. However, Whis is caught off guard when something approaches from behind, completely surprising the evil angel. Gohan lands an ultra-powerful punch on Drom, breaking through the angel's defenses as if they were nothing, the electric currents emanating from his fist extinguishing the evil angel's flaming aura for a moment. Drom is sent flying through the air, violently crashing into a distant mountain. Gohan turns toward Wynek, who tries to perform a spinning kick to gain some distance, but the move is intercepted by the Saiyan, who grabs the angel's leg and hurls him into the sky like a rag doll. Wyneck twists in midair, preparing to counterattack, but before he can even think of a strategy, Gohan is already above him, delivering a devastating kick that slams him into the ground, causing an explosion of dust and rocks. Wyneck, panicking, tries to retreat, but Gohan gives him no chance. In a flash, Gohan appears behind the angel and with a swift, brutal movement, lands a blow to Wyneck's abdomen as he turns, making the dancer angel spit up blood. Wyneck falls to his knees, completely immobilized by pain. Drom rushes to rescue his brother, attempting to strike Gohan. However, the Saiyan catches his punch in one movement, breaks his arm with the second, and breaks his leg with the third, forcing him to kneel. Now both Wyneck and Drom kneel before Gohan. The son of Vegito raises his ki, points his hand at them and prepares to unleash a full power energy blast. But then, at the height of his victory, Gohan feels something. An excruciating pain pierces his chest. His ki, which once roared like a storm, begins to waver. He tries to stay on his feet, but his legs give out, and he falls to his knees, panting. The power that had elevated him to this level was beginning to exact its toll. No, not now, Gohan thinks, feeling his body betraying him. His muscles tremble uncontrollably, and his blue aura starts to fade, with the lightning vanishing. His breathing becomes erratic, as if each breath is draining more energy from his very soul. Drom, even with his broken leg, notices Gohan's weakness and rises, staggering but with a malicious grin. Looks like your body finally gave out after all that effort. What bad luck, huh? Wyneck also rises, still dizzy, but with renewed hope. It's over for you, Gohan. The Saiyan, now on his knees, his vision blurred and his strength slipping away, can only watch as the two angels prepare their final attacks. Gohan collapses, his body finally succumbing to the overwhelming power he had awakened. However, at the crucial moment, something approaches in a flash, striking Drom and Wyneck and pushing the pair of angels away from Gohan. Wyneck and Drom are shocked as they realize what just happened, their faces filled with astonishment, eyes wide, and mouths agape. The one who pushed Drom and Wyneck away is none other than Android 21. But 21 looks a bit different now. She no longer has just the appearance of a Saiyan, but also that of an angel. After the collision of their two energy blasts, which were the size of entire solar systems, Daishinkan and Ultra Cell see a massive slice of the great universe vanish, along with multiple parallel dimensions and even some timelines. Ultra Cell stands tense and panting, staring at the dense cloud of cosmic dust in front of him, formed by the great explosion that followed the clash of their attacks. The evil Daishinkan finally emerges from the cloud of dust, his body riddled with wounds, causing Ultra Cell to smile with pride. Using his magic, Daishinkan heals his body, but it's evident that this costs him a lot of energy, and the angel can't hide his exhaustion. Cell summons his ki with even more intensity, inviting his grandfather to continue. The super android resumes his offensive, this time with unshakable confidence. He teleports around Daishinkan, hitting him with increasingly powerful blows. Each impact of his fists echoes through the void of the cosmos, and with each strike, Daishinkan's power seems to diminish a bit more. Daishinkan tries to fight back, but Cell's advantage becomes increasingly obvious, his power growing with every moment thanks to the android's unparalleled evolutionary ability. This ability combines the genetic data of multiple races from various realities, including those of absurdly powerful angels and Saiyans. Cell's natural capacity is pushed to extreme levels by Shinken and multiplied thousands of times by Kaioken, making Cell nearly invincible. Cosmic Crushing Fist! With his fist charged with an immense amount of concentrated energy, Cell launches himself at Daishinkan in a lightning-quick movement, landing a direct blow to the chest of the leader of the evil angels, creating an explosion that shatters the barriers and shakes the very foundations of the great universe. Civilizations, planets, stars, solar systems, galaxies, timelines, and entire dimensions are obliterated. With his chest shattered by Cell's hand, the evil Daishinkan stumbles back, uncontrollably spilling blood. From the world of the gods, the benign Daishinkan feels the repercussions of this battle across the great universe and fears the worst. Suddenly, he feels a sharp pain in his body and his eyes widen as blood gushes from his mouth. Seeing the fabric of reality begin to unravel, even in that deep layer of hell, Gogeta is startled by the urgency of the situation and pleads with Zeno to do something. Zeno knows something must be done quickly and prepares to make his move. Vegito faces the supreme god of the great universe with tension, also ready to act. The absolute god of the great universe and the Saiyan demon study each other, both knowing that in one move, everything could end. Vegito channels more of his demonic power into his energy blade, intensifying its density. Zeno also intensifies the power of the absolute blade, which radiates an imposing glow. Finally, the two charge at each other at the same time. The fabric of reality is torn apart by the power of their movements as the ground beneath them is destroyed. Zeno and Vegito collide, their blades clashing in a dazzling display of light, temporarily blinding even Gogeta. Zeno and Vegito press their blades together, which vibrate frantically due to the intensity of their energies. Vegito screams, unleashing all his power, exploding the evil energy of the evil seed along with his Kaioken to further strengthen his blade. However, it is the demon Vegito's blade that shatters, and Zeno's absolute blade cuts through the enemies, then slices through the corrupted Saiyan's body. The cut inflicted on Vegito is not an ordinary one. The wound wasn't made on his body, but on space-time itself, forming an entire dimension within his body. After opening this rift with a slash, Zeno makes a stabbing motion, driving his blade through Vegito's body, not drawing blood from the Saiyan demon, but instead pulling out a core of evil energy. Incredible! Zeno's blade went beyond the physical plane. It cut Vegito's spirit to extract the core of evil energy embedded within him, Gogeta observes. With the malevolent core impaled on his blade, Zeno withdraws the blade from Vegito, taking the core with it. He then uses one hand to move the dimensional rift he opened within Vegito's body. Holding this dimensional rift in his hand, Zeno places the absolute blade along with the core of evil energy inside it, then seals the rift. Zeno had just stored his absolute blade along with that energy in a dimension he created specifically for that purpose, one that only he could access. Vegito then collapses unconscious. His appearance returns to how it was before he was overtaken by the corrupted energy, and there are no cuts or wounds on his body. "He did it!" Gogeta exclaims, thrilled. Amidst White-Neck, Drom, and Gohan, a large silver aura bursts forth, and the figure that emerges leaves the two angels stunned. With a wild yet confident and serene expression, Android 21 faces them. Her body radiates a mix of Saiyan Ki and the divine calm of an angel. Her silver eyes glow, indicating that Ultra Instinct is fully activated. White-Neck and Drom recognize her as the android created by Campari, the one who had been fighting Whis, but they can't comprehend how she reached this level so suddenly. Looking more closely at her, they also sense their brother's presence within her. When asked what she did to Whis, 21 reveals what happened. At the moment, Whis positioned himself between her and Champer Ross and pierced her with his staff. Android 21 made the piece of her body that she had used as a leg for Champer Ross detach from him and leap toward Whis to absorb him. By the time Whis realized the trap, it was too late, and he ended up being absorbed by her. White-Neck and Drom are furious, but they are also deeply afraid as this android now possesses the powers of one of the most powerful angels, along with her own abilities and those of the Saiyan who defeated Ram. Android 21 tells them that, unfortunately for them, someone inside her cares a lot about Gohan, and as a result, she is inevitably enraged to see him in such a state. Drom, having just used his magic to heal his arm and leg previously broken by Gohan, roars that she will not get away with having swallowed his brother into that filthy body. He shouts this as he hurls a flaming cannonball at 21. With a simple wave of her hand, Android 21 envelops the fireball in a magical aura and then disintegrates it into particles using Whis' Hakai. Before they even realize it, Android 21 appears behind Drom, delivering a direct blow to his back with a precision only Ultra Instinct would allow, along with a brutality only a Saiyan could unleash. 21's strike takes Drom's heart with it, now held in her hand, which has pierced through his chest. Wynek attempts to help his brother by launching a fatal kick at 21. His feet charge with enough energy to slice her in two, but she possesses Majin Buu's regenerative abilities and quickly reforms. 21 extends her arm, grabbing Wynek's neck with such speed that he can't react, then pulls him toward her, kissing the evil angel. "I'm sure this is the sweetest kiss you've ever received," she says with a mischievous smile. "If you've ever had one at all." As soon as 21 releases, Wynek, his mouth, followed by the rest of his body, begins transforming into chocolate. While Wynek is turning into chocolate, 21, still holding Drom's heart, burns it with the fiery energy of Super Saiyan 5, reducing it to ashes. 21 withdraws her arm from Drom's body, letting him collapse to the ground just as Wynek, now fully transformed into chocolate, falls as well. With an angel fallen on either side, 21 points her hand at both and uses her Hakai to disintegrate their bodies once and for all. "It's over here," she sighs in relief. Android 21 calmly walks over to Gohan, who is still lying on the ground, near death. With a gentle touch, her hand emits a soft pink glow of regenerative energy, healing his wounds. "You can relax now, Bula. He'll be fine," she says to the Saiyan inside her. Looking up, 21 comments hopefully. Now there's only one left. After having his chest shattered by Cell, Daishinkan finds himself almost unable to fight, seething with rage at his inferiority to the android. "Damn you! How is it possible that I, the supreme of all angels, am being surpassed by a worthless artificial life form like you?" Cell laughs at his outburst. "Sorry Gramps, but I am the future. As for you, you're just a proud, outdated relic." Cell begins to gather an extraordinary amount of power, preparing for the final attack. But now it's Daishinkan who starts to laugh. Cell asks him what's so funny and if this is some kind of bluff. Daishinkan replies, "You really didn't notice, did you? You were so excited about subjugating me that you didn't realize a part of me is gone." Cell is shocked to discover that Daishinkan is telling the truth. Indeed, it seems that a portion of his power is missing. "Where do you think I went, android?" The leader of the evil angels asks sarcastically. Understanding the implication, Cell instantly teleports to the world of the gods. When Cell arrives in the world of the gods, he sees the missing part of the evil Daishinkan, his arm piercing through the body of the benign Daishinkan, whose life is clearly near its end. Cell Ultra quickly realizes what happened. The evil Daishinkan created this clone. At the moment, Cell lost sight of him after their energy blasts clashed. While the evil Daishinkan continued fighting to distract him, this clone had secretly made its way to the world of the gods to kill the benign Daishinkan and release the evil seed from its seal. Since the benign Daishinkan was already extremely weakened from having endured the task of keeping both the evil seed and the evil Daishinkan sealed away for so long, it only took a tiny fraction of the evil Daishinkan's power, in clone form, to deal a fatal blow. "I'm sorry, I held on as long as I could," the benign Daishinkan says, before the light in his eyes finally fades. Cell panics and immediately considers attacking this clone of the evil Daishinkan. But at that moment, the clone forcefully removes his arm from the body of the benign Daishinkan, and from the gaping wound, the malevolent power of the evil seed gushes out like a waterfall. The clone of the evil Daishinkan begins to absorb this overwhelming energy, rapidly growing stronger from it. The clone, which had represented such a small fraction of the evil Daishinkan's power that Kel hadn't even noticed its existence before, now has a level of strength that surpasses its progenitor countless times over. It doesn't take long before the original evil Daishinkan arrives, and he quickly merges with his clone, completing his ascension once and for all. Daishinkan's appearance changes, becoming a fully demonic figure. The diabolical power emanating from the evil angel feels like something from another reality, and even Ultra Black Shinken Cell, powered up 100,000 times, trembles with the terrifying energy unleashed by the now fully powered evil Daishinkan. The entire great universe begins to collapse, entering a phase of absolute destruction. From the hell, Gogeta feels this happening and is left completely helpless. No way! At this rate, the great universe won't last even a minute. This is the end. But Zeno does not share this sense of despair. And the reason for that is because he already knows what he is going to do. Zeno carries Vegito in his arms over to Gogeta and lays him down on the ground. After doing this, he nods to Gogeta and begins to float. Even though Zeno doesn't say anything, just through the synchronization of their minds, Gogeta already knows what he intends. And he also understands what his final gesture meant. Zeno, whose body could no longer contain his own power and was on the verge of breaking apart, decides to speed up the process willingly. His body disintegrates, releasing a stunning display of cosmic light, with the absolute divine energy of the absolute God spreading throughout the great universe, as well as its parallel dimensions and alternate timelines. The energy of the supreme God of the great universe fills the very fabric of the universe itself, restoring and strengthening its structures, which had been on the brink of total destruction but are now renewed. Gogeta smiles. He fused with the universe itself, becoming one with it. Now the great universe will be able to withstand even the terrifying power that Daishinkan has just acquired. Gogeta glances at the unconscious Vegito beside him. Now, it's time for me to do my part. After all, this was entrusted to me. When Ultra Black Shinken Cell, now powered up 200,000 times through Kaioken, reaches Daishinkan to deliver his most powerful punch, his own arm explodes upon contact with the evil seed's energy. Cell recoils, shocked. His arm quickly regenerates, but his willpower does not. The android can't believe what's happening. It's useless, android. Now that I've claimed this superior power, I'm on a level far beyond yours. I now belong to another dimension, and you can no longer reach me. Cell, furious, prepares for another attack, but with a simple gesture. As Daishinkan points his hand at him, the android is completely paralyzed. You don't understand what I mean, do you? Let me show you. Grabbing Cell's body with one hand, Daishinkan snaps his fingers with the other. Instantly, Cell's legs explode. Then, with another snap, Cell's arms explode as well. Cell screams in agony, and Daishinkan laughs maniacally. You've realized just how vast the difference in our powers is, haven't you? I've ascended to a higher stage. Nothing any of you in this reality can do will hurt me. I am undefeated. Suddenly, Daishinkan's head explodes. Cell is utterly dumbfounded, unable to comprehend what just happened, as the evil angel's blood splatters across his face. Only after a few seconds does the android notice the presence of someone standing behind the now headless Daishinkan, facing away from him. Seeing this figure, Chell feels something he can't explain. It's a sensation that doesn't even seem to exist. Who are you? The android asks, struggling to force the words from his throat. The mysterious figure turns around. Me! I am the fusion of Gogeta and Vegito. You can call me Gogito. The fate of the battle seemed to be leaning in favor of the great universe when the evil Daishinkan finally managed to possess the evil seed. But now a new warrior has emerged to stop this great enemy, and his name is Gogito. What will be the power of the fusion of Gogeta and Vegito? Will this power be enough to defeat the most powerful angel ever known? Find out in the next episodes of Dragon Ball Shinken. If you haven't liked the video yet, do it now because it really helps boost the video's reach here on the platform, allowing more people to discover Dragon Ball Shinken. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episodes of the story. And share this video with any Dragon Ball fans you know, so more people can enjoy this story with us. If you stayed until the end of the video, show me by commenting Ultra Gogito appears. If you comment that, I'll know you're one of the true fans who made it to the end. A big thanks to everyone who stuck with me, and I'll see you in the next video.